are testing. All right. So,
cheers again. If we
cheers.
keep on cheering like this,
it's
going to be a heck of a podcast, honey.
I am Mari.
I am Kanika.
And we are Joy RX.
Cheers one more time. Just one more sip.
Where we prescribe joy as a therapeutic tool. Let's dive right in, because this is the child. If y'all knew how long we took just to get here.
Listen, we need some joy around how to do technology and do podcasts. Mm-hmm. That's fine. We're going to improve.
All right, so we're going to dive right in. This week's joy. Talk about it. What's your joy? You seemed pretty excited to talk about your joy.
Okay. I feel like yours is a better joy.
Okay, well then I'll go into my joy. My joy, we at the Joy RX, we totally decided on a whim. When I say on a whim, I mean that last Sunday.
At earliest.
So that would be 7 days ago.
Yeah. I
sent her a clip of a video that's been showing on YouTube. Or all the socials, all these different places,
and whatnot.
And so I've even had friends of mine send it to us as if
we didn't see it.
They copied us, right? Because of what we did. So yes, all of that. So we decided that we found a group of women who they went out and they called themselves caroling. They put on their pajamas and they went out and decided to sing on cold DC street corners, and they were singing "Can We Talk?" And so I sent the message to you and I said we should do this next year.
I was like, girl, next year, this year. She was like, but Christmas is like a couple of days away.
It was like 6 days away. And she said, we're going to do this.
So 4 days from then.
I also, let me free y'all, because she was out of town. She wasn't coming back for 2 days. She was leaving town again.
Yeah. Good times.
And she wanted us somewhere in here to decide that we were going to squeeze this in. And so I was like, okay, well then we would need to like send out flyers. We would need to invite folks. We would need to put this on socials. We need to get this together. And we did.
And I said to you, if it's just me and you.
You said that. You said
if
that.
me and you are outside,
we would have a good time.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
We would have.
What?
We might have had more
show
fun.
tunes.
What? Oh my God.
We would have gone through a gospel.
Oh my God. Tomorrow.
Listen,
we would have gone off.
East Coast, West Coast, we would have gone back and forth. We would have battled. Come on.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes. Oh, see, now, okay, that's the thing that I have to know to do.
Yeah. Do not disturb.
Do not disturb.
Don't disturb. Don't disturb.
These are the things you learn.
Disturb.
So I'm going to go ahead. How do you even do that on your phone? I don't even know how to do that. How do you
pull this little thing on the little top? Somebody, listen, if this was like a live show, I'd be like, somebody call in and tell callers, is there somebody can call in?
What do I do? What do I do for do not to say? Is it the airplane?
Right there, focus. Oh. Listen, that's a whole... You don't know where your focus is?
That's fine.
I'm going to leave that right there.
We got it. All right. And we're back.
Right there.
So we decided that we were going to just go R&B caroling, that we would sprinkle some Christmas tunes in there. And we really, really were okay if it was just us two. We said we only put this on the socials for like 4 days.
4 days. It was like it was like 48 hours. It might have been 50 hours. Just at most.
And I mean, we were hitting that thing. I mean, we were posting it. We were trying to generate, and so many people were, oh man, I wish I had known.
I'm gonna be out of town. People talking about I'm gonna come in next year for it. It's like, you're in New York.
Yeah, people were really upset that they were gonna miss it. So as they're announcing this, as they're saying, we are going to be out of town, I'm thinking, okay, nobody's gonna show up to this. It's cold in Atlanta. That's where we are. 19 degrees.
Yeah, record cold.
It was raining. There was a little drizzle actioning happening. Listen, I was like, we are going to go out there and we are going to have joy. That's what we're going to do. And so we went out on Thursday, the 22nd. We invited our friend. I want you to know at least a good 20, 30 people came through.
People came through and listen, and in case they ever hear this, we appreciate you. People came and missed us.
Yeah.
They came, remember they came, we met at a restaurant, shout out Bar Vegan, another Pinky restaurant in Atlanta, and actually they're spreading everywhere. But she is her restaurant Bar Vegan was like our meeting place, and people came after we left, like, oh, this sounds
and because
good.
we didn't, we're just starting this thing, we didn't know any better. We didn't announce to the managers or the workers. We didn't say, hey, send people outside. So some of you may have missed us, and we are sorry. Of course we got texts, but we were using the phone for the tune. So we went out, y'all. We went out and we were literally walking through Ponce City Market, and we were singing with microphones. That's what I don't think people realize. We had a portable speaker. Our friend Kim came and brought a portable speaker with microphones. We went outside and we had a time, you all. Listen. I cannot explain the fun. I mean, it was genuine fun that we had. We sang all these, the songs that we were singing.
People danced.
Oh my God.
Folks gathered around that we did not know. We met friends, new friends.
People walked up. There was a little girl who grabbed the mic. She gave her all on that Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas is she was bopping with it. She
had to be 6 years old.
She had to be. Her mother and her were dancing over in a court. There were people who came out of their houses to listen. That man said, "Are y'all a group?" A group of cheer chasers. That's what we are.
Come on.
We are cheer chasers.
Mood motivators is what we are. Come on. All right. We are attitude adjusters is what we trying to do out here.
That is what
these Christmas
and
streets.
we just went out there and I'm talking about it was drizzling. I want you to know I was in my literal pajamas.
Literally.
I was out there. She had on a Christmas bow on her head.
I'm a whole present. Under your tree, you deserve.
I'm just going to lay up under your tree with this headband. You're so ignorant because she would do that. I'm telling you that we had a time. People were one man came and got up out of his coat because we were singing "Hot in Here."
He sure did. Boy, he got the.
I want you to know he kicked that joker off, and his shoulders was getting good. It was a time, y'all.
It was a time.
It was a time. And so that was my joy. It was especially my joy. One of our friends said to me, she was like, I don't know. It's cold. I don't like to be cold. I don't know. I don't sing. I don't want to come. The glee on her face. She was, I'm so happy. I can't.
Yeah, everybody said that.
I said, this is what I wanted.
Like, I don't know if I have anything to wear. I don't know if I can sing. Skip all of that.
Yes.
And it really was a reminder, just take a risk for joy. Jump in. Listen, I know the joy pool looks deep.
Jump for
in.
Joy. Jump in. Fill me up. Jump in. Baby, jump for the joy. That's it. We're going to get the Pointer Sisters on here one day. Sing Jump for Joy. Don't play with me. So that was my joy for the
shoulder
week.
Pads.
Okay.
Listen.
With some shimmery eyeshadow, and I'll go all the way in. So that was my joy for the week. I was really, really excited after that. I held on to that joy for so long. Like, I'm still very happy because of, and that was days ago. Mm-hmm. So thank you all so much to the people who came out, just took a chance on us in the cold, came out and stayed for the whole time. I mean, and whatever it was we need, and brought their own joy and their own excitement for it and all of that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It multiplies when joy gets together.
Oh God, that's a good thing.
It multiplies when it gets together, and when you don't care, you know what I'm saying. You don't care how you look. You don't care who's watching. You don't.
And that's what I think it was about.
Joy.
It wasn't, let me go get cute for this party that I'm gonna go. No,
we wore whatever looked festive.
I want you to know that I was at my lowest moment.
You're never at a low.
That's fine.
Look, this one over here.
This is you gotta have a best friend that shouts you out.
Look at this one all the time. Wake up looking like that.
Anyhow, I mean, I really was out there in my thermal pajamas on.
It was good times. I got hot. We were talking about it was gonna be so cold. I got warm.
I never put my coat on. It was always tied around my waist.
We're going to be doing more of those.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like, I realized how thirsty people were for it. The reason why people were out there begging us to continue, not caring about the cold. They were so disappointed. They were following us when we were walking. I think people are thirsty for that. There's
that man
so
asked
many
if he could rent a song.
Right. I was like, come on, a private dancer.
Real private dancer.
You
dancing for money.
Joy songs $1. A Christmas song, do nicely, thank you.
That right there.
Listen.
That's what we should have done.
But it is, there's so many things.
Yes.
You know, when you're on social media, you be like, wow, is everybody just super angry or what?
Yes.
And what we really realized is that we needed to get serious and intentional about putting joy not into not just our own lives, but into the people that we touch, into the people that we come across. And so we're going to be doing more things like that because it was just we did not realize the impact and how many people are still contacting us. That was just so I needed that. I needed that jump start to end the year.
I got so many texts afterward just saying, you know, thank you.
Yes.
And all we did, y'all,
it cost no money.
It cost nothing.
It cost nothing.
I want you to know there was no preparation. I called her the day off and was like, what are we doing? She was like, I don't know.
Let's go.
Ride out.
Let's just get
there. And we did. And so, listen, that was my joy. I was incredibly grateful for it. And thank you for being there with me.
Thank you. So my joy is less global, but it's just somebody's going to feel me. She's going to laugh, but somebody is about to feel me. So I'm walking around. She knows that I've been like putting together, you know, a toy for my daughter, like this outrageous dollhouse at home. And I kept hearing this sound. I'm walking around. I kept hearing this like, shh, 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 shh. I was like, yo, what is that sound? You know, like on those Michael Myers movies, it's like,
I'm so nervous right now.
I hear this noise. And then I recognize it's the sound of my thighs rubbing. I swear to God, my life. I was like, oh my God. Am I a cricket?
I know that sound.
Am I in heat?
Baby, when I know.
Well, other cricket or other thick-thighed people? Wait a minute. I know that. If will that attract thick-thighed men? If my thick thighs rub that?
Let me rub them together.
Here's the joy part. I have just decided that I'm going to celebrate and accept my body.
I was just going to say, bring me around to the joy.
I want you to know. I really did. You know, I had just, like many people, you know, my child is 8 years old. I ain't been the weight that I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't blame baby weight when she standing looking at me.
Let me free you.
Right.
You've not been that weight in 8 years. My child is 22. I've not seen those numbers since the 1900s. I'm not playing with y'all.
Listen, and I just decided, again, I want to be healthy. I'm not going to stop, you know, kind of making sure that I am putting good things into my body and working out and that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to love myself more. I'm just going to, and that just, it brought me joy to laugh and be like, that's joy. My thighs rubbing, and not be upset about it. Because there have been times that I've been like, oh my God, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever get the little worn, it's worn in between? Like, you actually wear down the material?
When have you ever? Every pair of pants.
Why are you getting new pants?
What?
Because when your thighs rub.
My mother knew how to, she got so good at sewing in patches. What? Bare, just complete. That's fine.
Just to rub it. And I just decided I'm not, you know, I am not going to do things, right? I'm going to do things that bring health to me, because I do think that sets a tone for joy, right? Celebrating my body by treating it well. But also, I'm not celebrating myself mentally by being cruel to myself while trying to build my body. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just got a kick out of that little sound. And I tickled myself so good, because I really was like, what is that? Because I was walking around so much, like picking up screws and stuff. And I was like, what is that? That's my own legs.
And then you would stop and the sound would stop.
Because it was like 2 a.m. You know, you just get weird at that hour. Like, if it would have been a different time and I was more rested, I would have known what it was.
Your own ass.
It was my,
literally. It was you.
Literally. Yeah. Like, people be joking about cheeks clapping. Some cheeks clap. Okay, that's fine.
Baby, all sides clap around here. When I take all these
You'll be like, what is that
clap.
noise?
That's us.
That's me putting on my jeans. When I put my jeans on, I have to jump. And that's what that sound.
Baby, what did Beyonce say? You don't feel my pain if you ain't got to jump into. Okay. That's a very real thing.
Doing 1 inch at a time, this hip, that hip.
And like a couple inches, you feel success. Like, I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. Ooh, you get that joke on and you just stop for a second. You don't even button it up. You just stop and go, whew.
That was a workout. You started looking at your Apple Watch and see how many calories that I burned. A little bit.
Yes. I did, and that what brought me joy about that was that I was not cruel to myself. Yes. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I have been in the past. I'll be honest. I have.
Let me say something. Can I
picked myself apart, and I just decided,
something.
Like, you know what?
Who you were 25 years ago. Girl. To watch you grow and let me not get started because you talk about I will go so far into joy that I will cry. Who you have been in 25, like that's.
I'm going to accept that compliment.
When I say, do you remember when we went to Puerto Rico in 1999? 1900. And you would not take off your shirt and shorts.
I would not. I was those people who get in the pool with whole outfits on. Be like,
I want you to know that this joker here will put on a two-piece. We might be on here one day in a two-piece.
That's fine. That's fine. All this meat is going to be.
Listen. Mm-hmm. That growth is so beautiful.
It's beautiful on and you can continue to work on yourself. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can continue to work on myself while also being like, I'm beautiful. I'm a lovely person. I am beautiful at whatever weight I am.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You have to know this. But, just everyone is a Kanika Bell fan. Everyone.
But see, Kanika Bell wasn't a Kanika Bell fan.
Woo! Don't get into it. That's not what we're talking about.
Wasn't a
Listen,
and so now that's when the joy comes because it doesn't. You don't even digest the compliments from other people when you don't have you know what I'm saying. If you don't have it here, you're almost angry about them.
Yeah,
because it's calling attention to something that in your mind you're thinking, no, are you making fun of me? Are you making? You're trying to make me feel better about this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
whatever it is,
don't
give me a pity compliment. I was overthinking, and now I just why don't I just be quiet and thank you?
Right. Yes. I love that joy.
That was my joy.
That's an excellent joy for the week.
That was my joy for the week.
So, okay. All right. Well, we rolling. We moving. Okay. So we do want to introduce ourselves to the world because we are starting, not only are we starting this podcast, we are also starting our company. So we want to talk a little bit about ourselves. So first, tell us who you are as an individual.
So yes, beyond Kanika, the new enlightened, finds herself beautiful person. I'm also Dr. Kanika Bell. Yes. I am a licensed psychologist. I have a practice called ATL Psychotherapy and Consulting Services here in Atlanta. I'm also an associate professor at the Clark Atlanta University. Mari and I are AUC graduates. We are both graduates of Spelman College. We went on to graduate school in other places and rerouted ourselves back to Atlanta. And so, pardon me. So a big part of what I study, this was my thesis and dissertation, has been about Black women specifically, finding love for themselves, thwarting the impact of sexism and racism, and developing identities that are strength-based in spite of. So one of my recent works is a volume entitled Black Women's Mental Health. I wrote that with Nasinga Burden and Stephanie Evans, two other powerful, wonderful sisters. And we just wanted to have something where we talked about the specific challenges to being optimal for Black women. And so now what I am doing is, I know this seems really crazy, that I'm really talking about joy with people, right? I have a whole joy therapy. When I work with clients, instead of coming from that deficit modeling, like let's just try to decrease your anxiety symptoms. Let's just try to, you're focusing on it. It really occurred to me that if you're only working on decreasing depressive symptoms, you're really focusing on your depression. How about we add joy? If you have enough joy, then we don't have room for the distressing thoughts. I don't know how we didn't think about that. If you're a person who diets, right? It's awful to think about, I can't have that cookie. I better put down that ho-ho. I can't eat pizza. I can't go to Popeyes.
Think about
all that things you can't have instead of being like, let me just eat a bunch of salads today. Let me just make sure I get my water intake. If you do that, you'll be too full.
Right.
You're not going to eat 10 Twinkies if you had 10 things of broccoli. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But think about what to add to your life. Yes. What's good about it, and use that as a therapeutic model. So I'm doing that there therapeutically. I've been doing some talks to corporations. It's been weird doing them on Zoom, kind of in the pandemic, but really talking to businesses and corporations. And we hope to do that as kind of our consultant piece. I know it seems strange, like why would a business hire Joy consultants? Well, you lower your attrition rate in terms of your employees. Happier employees stay longer and are more loyal to the company, less likely to sabotage things that are happening at your business. All types of benefits come from having just more well-being in your organizations, whether we're talking about your family, talking about your relationship, talking about your nonprofit, talking about your school, or talking about, your corporate office. So, I've been doing kind of work around that, and then research related to that, specifically research around the addition of joy and being intentional about it. Like not just saying, I need to be better. Like we do a lot of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I need to do self-care. That's like the new
going out.
Yeah. No, but like, no, seriously, what are you going to do? Yes. No, really. No, actually, what brings you joy? Yes. I think for so many people might be like, seriously, don't even know what brings them joy.
No.
Like,
absolutely.
I don't mean like these are things I just go to bed because I'm tired. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what makes you laugh uncontrollably. What makes sets your heart aflutter. What are things you just look forward to like a child at Christmas?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have to get back in touch with those things and be intentional about putting those things back into our daily schedule. So that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to bring to this collaboration is really looking therapeutically how to use joy as a tool to improve the self.
Excellent. So a little bit about me. I am Maria Newport. Most people know me as Mari. A lot of people know me as Hella Fine because if you follow me on the socials, apparently that's what so many people.
You also Hella Fine. It's okay to say it.
Get you a Kanika Bell so that you too can feel good about yourself. So, like she said, yes, we both graduated from AUC. My major, it was many things before I settled on education. And then I was a teacher for many years, about 17 years in the classroom. And then I moved on to teaching adults. So I became an instructional coach. And now what I currently do is I work for a major Atlanta district, and I oversee the curriculum for several elementary schools. And so through that work, of course, I've learned what it is to build a curriculum, to really understand how to teach someone something so that it sticks, not something that they're going to forget over time. I have written a curriculum. I am in the process of writing one right now. I have done all of this work on, adult learners and what it looks like for them to learn as opposed to children. Very, very different, to get them to follow you, to really listen, to hear, to understand, to do the data analysis, to understand why I'm doing this, what is my next step, why am I taking this next step. And so interestingly, I don't even think we really realized that we were kind of headed on this joy path at the same time. But I started to just really read books about it and study it and really think about what it looked like in my life. And I think at the same time, both of us were kind of, as we tend to do with a lot of things, I think just as very close friends, we just kind of went on this journey together. And so there is the therapy side, there is all of that knowledge that comes with that, but there's also the actionable items like we talked about, like really understanding what do I do next? If I am at a joy deficit, what do I do so that I can put joy in my reserves so that this can kind of sustain me later on in life. And so that is what I do. A little bit about us as friends. We have been friends we are about to celebrate. Yes, we have an anniversary.
Oh, we absolutely celebrated.
We celebrated. We have, our anniversary it's about to be 27.
Oh my gosh.
Is it about, wait, what year? I'm the mathematician. I should know.
Yes, because, the first one was
27. It was 96.
1995.
So it's 20. Okay. Yeah. So it was 27 years.
Which is crazy because we're only 30.
I'm gonna get that right.
Right.
But
how does that happen?
But yeah, so we met almost 27 years ago. We were both on this journey of being better people, and we were assigned to one another for the week, and we had to learn everything about each other, and it was almost immediate. It was like kismet. It was just very bizarre. We're both only children. We're both singers. We're both dancers. We're both very dramatic.
Both laugh until we cry tears.
Until we are in pain.
Until it hurts.
I want you to know that. We just had so many similar things. And so we've had our downs. We've had our moments where we weren't as close.
All people do.
Yes. And I think that has definitely brought us to this place where we are really excited. She said to me the other day, and it made me cry, but I really thought about it myself. There's no one else I'd want to do this with. Like there's no one else I could see myself doing this with.
Absolutely.
Just because you have to have a genuine amount of joy. And we have that. We have that alone, and we really have that.
Really have it together.
We really
but
have it
you're
together.
A visionary person, right? And I think, and in fact, if it's both our thing to celebrate about ourselves, and then probably our downfall too, because visionary people have great ideas, big thoughts, like let's do this, and there's like people like, well, how are you gonna?
Right.
Did you do the nuts and bolts? We're like nuts and bolts,
right?
Let's just
go out there,
right? And I think that works sometimes, but there, Mari does this. You do this word for the year. And that's when I knew it was time for us to do it. You said that the word for this year was thrive, right?
Yeah.
And I started to think about how often people are in survival mode. When you ask people, how are you? They're like,
I'm making it.
I'm surviving. Even kind of like that old church adage, like, anytime I wake up above ground, that's the biggest celebration. I'm not trying to hate on the old school church. But I mean, that's your big celebration is that I woke up.
I'm breathing.
Now that is something
here
to celebrate. I'm not saying that's wonderful, because if you didn't, then you didn't, and that's a negative.
But now let's take it a step further.
Can we go optimal? We don't have bigger plans other than being alive.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like what does thriving look like? And I mean, I think that we've in some ways, right? Society has kind of lost our ability to focus on the optimal because we think that's out of reach or out of pocket. And I think even modern parents, we both have worked with parents in various ways. Me, with kids being brought in, a psychologist, and Mari being in education, right? Like working with parents who are just like, I'm just trying to have kids to just survive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we almost don't even get taught the lesson of life can actually be great.
Right.
It can be fantastic.
Every day of your life.
You can smile. Yep. People even say stuff like, it's just not going to be all roses. It could be mostly roses.
Be all
roses.
What
if it could be?
It really
like
could
we don't
be
even
all
entertain
roses.
the concept
if
that it
you
could
got joy,
be. We could actually have joy every day. It is. Why did we start teaching ourselves that wasn't possible?
Right. Yeah.
And so, that to me let me know it was time to launch something bigger. People always told us you all need a podcast because we just get to cackling.
Our friends have absolutely
entertain.
They videotape us and
We've
send
been
us.
videoed before. Yeah. We're like, this was y'all in the car just going.
And they find it funny. And now
waitresses,
you'll see
everybody's
it. Yeah, you'll see it at some point. We can get into a whole... We just go down a rabbit hole and everything just disappears.
Folks are just watching us like it's like we're on TV. And I knew that it was time to operationalize it and make it into like a thing. Yes. You know what I mean? When you were talking about I was like, we could just exist like this, or we could radiate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Or we could just rate it. We could have this here, but the fact that people hang out with us and be like, "Listen, I was blessed by," and I've been that person. I've had that experience with other people. I've hung out with people.
I have had people give me
and be
money.
like, "I just listen."
And no, I'm not.
No, I know you're not.
I have had people send me hundreds of dollars. Thank you for our evening
just
together.
I'm
so,
with you.
and it wasn't sexual, huh? I'm just saying that I people really enjoy, and I think that we are enjoyable people. But I think a big piece of it is the joy that just resonates from us. When we come in a room, we really do feel it,
right.
And so we don't want to just be this. We want everyone to have this.
To experience it.
Yes. So this is like our gift to the world. So thinking about what Joy RX is. So let's talk about what it is that we are going to be doing, what it is that the company is about.
Right. So there's this, right? We're going to do the podcast, and we're actually, some of it is going to be just straight up, it's edutainment.
Yes.
That's what I think we can call it, right? Some stuff is just going to be like funny. I just tune in because these gals are just got me crying, right? I think some is just going to be just funny and just, just joyful banter. But I think also too, what we want to do is give real techniques. Yes. Like how do I have joy? We just we're coming out of the holidays. How do I have joy, when I got to go home and be my kind of toxic family over Christmas? How do I have joy in a work situation I don't prefer? Like how to really have joy in real life.
Do next?
Yeah. Like actually, so we want people to come out of the podcast like with tools, right? So we have that part, and then we also will. I wasn't joking when I said a whole joy therapy concept.
Yes.
I'm not only going to be enacting it at my practice. Another a young woman, her name is Mia Edwards. She works with me at the practice. She's designed like joy for kids. She sees children, like how to like have joyful children, instead of just, and I think we are going to just have a number of things that are accessible, right? So when we get everything kind of up and going, people will be able to come to us for a resource. Businesses we enjoy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There are places I think in the city of Atlanta and the places where we're from, places where we travel. And I'm like, this is just joyful in here. People should know that they could come here and feel happy.
Yes.
Yes. So I think we're going to do that. We also want to have curriculum related to schools, I think specifically. And the schools in this area where we are in Atlanta are thirsty, starving for it, right? Teacher attrition rate, everybody knows that, is at an all-time high. How do you keep people engaged in the most important profession in the world? You know what I mean? Like, how do you, what if we started the school year with laughter and joy instead of, let's talk about all these test scores and how you all need to get your stuff together. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how can you operationally do that? So that's just some of the things, you know what I mean? I'll let you go ahead and talk about some things, but those are just some of the ideas we have about ways in which Joy RX is going to be functional in the communities we serve.
Yes. So definitely those three things. We have the podcast, like we said. We are going to have the consultation business, which is going to also include the curriculum and all of that. Like we said, for individuals, for partnerships, for groups, for businesses, all of those things, they will be able to access us, and we can walk you through the process of really getting to a place of joy. We will have retreats. We will also have just our Joy Hub, which is our socials. So follow us on Instagram. We are the Joy RX. On Twitter, we are the Real Joy RX. On TikTok, we are the Joy RX, and
Facebook, we're also
we're the Joy RX. Just go and look for us. We will be posting things that bring us joy, like we said, shouting out the businesses that bring us joy, all kinds of things. We will be doing things like having bliss breaks, where you just write down and you just share with us and the community of cheer chasers what it is that brings you joy at that moment. So all of those kinds of things. But also what I want to talk about is just, why does Joy RX matter? So honestly, I think we talked about being visionaries and thinking of this very big thing. When I think of, I think of all of the children that I've encountered over the years. I've thought about, especially us being from HBCUs, all of the Black people, the people of color that we've encountered over the years who don't exist in a place of joy. And I think what's really important for us to pay attention to is that joy is revolutionary.
Listen, don't go past that too fast.
Okay. All right.
Pause that right there. Come on.
It's revolutionary.
Come on.
And especially for people of color who have been taught. We have this kind of psychological legacy that's been passed on to us of pain, of trauma. I mean, it's within our bodies. It's hard for us to get rid of, right? I mean, this is just hundreds of and thousands of years of just pain that doesn't go away quickly, right? But what if we start to undo that? The way that we undo that is with joy. It's a very radical concept, right? And so that's why it has to matter. That's why it's so important when we see these things that all kinds of things have been coming. Black Boy Joy, when they had even the Instagram page that was just showing Black men frolicking.
Listen. That thing brought me so much joy.
Oh my God.
Just Black men just running and giggling.
Running through the countryside. Because we don't teach our boys to do that. We teach our girls to have attitude. That is what they do to be powerful. We teach them, we train our girls how to smack their lips and roll their eyes and snap their neck. And that, you know how I know that you the best one out here? You know whose ass to be. We will be well into our old age talking about whose ass we gonna beat.
Why are you 72? Talking about you gonna fight something?
Please don't fight anybody at 72. Oh my God. Everything is gonna break on you. Let's not let that be the marker of your great
womanhood. Right.
Let's not do that. We teach our boys not to smile when they're taking pictures. Yep. We teach them that they're supposed to be hard and tough. They're not supposed to show giggle. Any emotion. They can't cry. They can't smile. What the hell are they supposed to be able to do? So the idea that joy, no. I want you to show this full range of emotion, and I want you to feel free enough to do it all the time. It is revolutionary. That's why the Joy RX really matters right now, especially right now. So
and this is not to be confused with toxic positivity, right?
No.
Like I think that what some people might hear is, I mean, you're just gonna be bubbly all the time. Nope. I mean, life is hard.
Nope.
Real things happen. We know that.
Listen, this week I know that.
Listen, we know that in ways. It's when people find out. My friend Johnny just texted. He was like, people would have no idea. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the things that no idea. I'm a whole cancer survivor. I'm divorced. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I go on.
Last year alone, I lost this whole house to a flood. I had a pulmonary embolism. Listen, there's all kinds of things.
Listen. We know about it.
But I got this good joy.
There's been things. Come on.
Okay.
Because the joy is mine.
Yes.
The joy is mine. I don't have to attach it to the things that happen in my life. I don't have to give it away for any reason. Yes, things are going to happen that are going to impact you. So that's what we're saying. We're not talking about just smile and nothing's behind it. I'm talking about actually having a toolkit ready so that when things come about, when the diagnosis comes, when the abusive partner steps, whatever happens, right, in your life, you have a reservoir. You have something to pull from. To reconnect with your joy. I even think it'd keep you out of some places. It will. Because having that reservoir. Wait a minute. Will. I got joy. I don't have to do this.
I don't have to do this. I don't have to make that choice.
I don't have to do this.
That's
because
correct.
I have joy.
And I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really why this is necessary. And thinking about the people who we want to give this gift to. Obviously everyone. I think everyone is worthy of joy, right? Every single person is absolutely, it doesn't matter what you've been, where you've been, everyone is worthy of joy. But specifically who we are targeting, let's talk about it.
You know, I think there's people who are like the joy bereft. You know what I mean? And again, we all know some of these people. It might be you too. These are the people that find the negative in anything.
I'm gonna take it for the joy thieves. They want to steal the joy out of it
because they literally it makes them uncomfortable to be glad. It is uncomfortable to have contentment, to say, you know what, let's try that idea. It might actually work. Like, it is so, and I get why. It's adaptive, I think, in some people, more than others. When I work with, my practice serves a predominantly of color, population. We serve everybody, but, it's a predominantly Black and brown in population. And I think coming from adverse environments and kind of the constant feeling that I am trying to thrive in a system that seems to be set, for my demise. How do I find joy in this? Right? But the truth is, for Black and brown people, we always have. Well, that actually is who we are. Well, we think who we are is, I have an attitude, and I'm not going to say, it's Black.
We have always done
this. That's
not
who we are.
Okay. That is where gospel music comes from. That is where all of our dances have come from. Listen, we've always concentrated on this history lesson real quick.
We've always concentrated on thriving. Yep. If you look Africa, Latin America, we have absolutely
that's where soul food comes from. We're just gonna give you just the
scraps, and it's going, and we're about to make it delicious. I'm about to
make it something even you want to eat.
You gonna copy our recipe?
Yep. That's real good.
That is so good.
Yes.
And I think just reminding people of that, I think that's important. So really, we're going to exist for anybody who wants to step that up, right? Who feels themselves kind of going through a little period. What we hope is that everybody believes that they need it. You know what I mean? Because you never know when you need it. That's not when you want to go get it. Like, I'm putting the dollhouse together. I said I needed to already have a toolkit before I started it. And I did. Before I started, I was like, let me bring out all the little screwdrivers that have names that I don't know. They have like different titles. I have an
electric one. Would that help you?
It might. Because I have been.
When I say that I put crazy. Every piece of this furniture together with my.
I like that.
Yes, I'm telling you, I'll give it to you. It's right there in that pink bag.
Amen. I'm going to walk right out here with it. If you have the tools already ready, right, then when you have a need, you can reach into them and get it. And I think that's what we want. We want everybody to be able to access it. Yep. But we definitely want marginalized populations and people who have felt distanced, right, and marginalized from joy. It is everyone's right.
It is your birthright.
It is your right.
What is it? The pursuit of happiness. What is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Like literally in the Constitution, it tells you you have the right to access joy. And so we want to give that to you.
Because you were born.
Because you are just here.
Because you existed.
Yes.
So we don't make space for, this is only some, like people have to already be, fruits and flowers. You ain't got to be the third eye thinking. In fact, please don't. We want, we want folks who are going to be like, no, I'm wide open and I'm just looking to be awesome. I'm looking for awesomeness. I'm
already awesome and I want to be awesomer. Whatever it is.
I haven't felt like I was awesome in a long time. And that's happening. I'm actually doing, we talked about this before we started this. I'm doing, my research students at Clark Atlanta have been looking at this. And we've been just asking people, when's the last time you felt true joy? Right? When's the last time you were intentional in terms of your schedule? What do you do? And people, it's amazing how people are like, yeah, I don't think since childhood.
Yeah.
Whole adults are saying since
Well, because they spent their lives scrolling. We've got people at this point that's all they know to do, to look at other people's lives.
And compare themselves and think that theirs is less. And then that takes away their joy. They look at their own Christmas tree, looks small comparison to the Christmas trees they get posted. And now all of a sudden, my Christmas tree is not good enough.
And now I don't want to post it. And now I don't want to do this anymore. And
listen.
Yeah.
I did that. My family is at this point, at this juncture is my daughter and I. It's the two of us. And I was afraid to post those Christmas pajamas. I was like, you're supposed to have 2.5 kids and a dog and a husband, what I'm saying? Like all of these around the Christmas tree. What will people say if it's just me and my daughter being goofy in front of the tree? I went ahead and posted it. We went ahead and had our little black Santa pajamas on. I put it right on social media. And people were like, this is family. Yes, it's family.
And that freed me to see you doing that in your joy. Of course, like I said, my child is 22, but I was thinking to myself, I've historically felt that same way. For you to say that then was like, Yeah. What am I waiting on? Yeah.
Think how many people then that might touch.
Yep.
Right. So that's our target. That's who we're looking for. The door is open wide. And what I'm, we have big dreams. Remember, we're visionary people, right? I am imagining like a joy lab, like even at my practice, like just a place where people, a joy museum of sorts, where there's literally activities, joy parties.
Yep. Oh, we finna have them.
I have for years thought about like a forgiveness party.
Ooh.
Like a just get free. We're about to do forgiveness.
Yeah.
And you're going to walk out of here 1,000 pounds lighter. I have thought about that for years and never operationalized that into a thing.
And now we have the space for that.
And now we're about to do it.
Yes. So so when we think about the impact of Joy RX and thinking about what it is that we want, I just think I just feel like I see this every day in and out of the schools that I'm in. I see this just in conversation with people. When I think about what we do on the internet, the ways that we tear people down, thinking about the sister who went to Mexico with her friends and didn't come back and those kinds of things. Just thinking about how do we make the world, I know it sounds sappy, but just make it a better place, a place where we have more compassion, where we just have more love, where we're not making all of these decisions out of a place of fear, but we really are looking at how can I contribute to the joy in the world. Even if I'm looking at a person I can't stand, maybe I don't want to impact their joy. How do I impact my own? Making decisions like that. I really hope to see what this does on a much larger scale, like just how this makes us better people, a better world. I am an Aquarius. I am your typical humanitarian. I'm always thinking globally. I just want to make this a place where my great-grandchildren will be safe in their own spirits, in their own hearts, just who they show up as, they can fully be, just because we've taught people the tools that they should have just to have more joy.
I love it. That, you're saying it sounds sappy, but that actually is how it works.
Yeah.
You don't, create change by everybody just changes it at once. That's not how that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change is created by one person fighting for it. And then you're at work with that person, you see them fighting for it, and that influences you to go home and be different when you're talking to your wife and your children. And your children then are different when they go to the baseball field, and then those children are different when they go to church on Sunday morning with the other children in Sunday school. And then that actually impacts the pastor. He is now different, and he preaches something different to the congregation. And then those people go to their sororities and fraternities, and they are different. Like, that's how that works.
Yep.
That is how that works. And what we're hoping is to just spark that flame. And that's why I like that was your joy moment, that caroling. We have no idea the impact that was.
And the way that people have carried that joy with them throughout the week. I don't know who they smiled at that they would not have smiled at before. I don't know who they didn't yell at that they may have yelled at if they had been. I don't know who they hugged a little tighter, who they were more tender with. Just the space that it put them in that then affected the rest of their week.
Snowball of joy.
And I'm telling you, we take for granted the small things that we can do. I was just talking to somebody about how when we're driving and we've gotten to a place where we don't even let people over anymore. We see somebody putting on their blinker and we speed up.
You know, I'm gonna get in front of
you. Ain't finna get it. Why?
Right, tough guy.
Why? You're getting somewhere 0.7 seconds quicker.
People can't even tell you why that is. When people say, they're just not gonna get over on me. What do you mean?
Okay.
How does that take you're giving your joy away.
Yep.
You're giving your joy away. You're not chained to any of that.
Yep.
Unchain yourself.
Yeah. So I'm excited about what. Say that again.
Joy is freedom. Let me say it loud in the mic.
Joy is freedom. That's
joyful
really
people are free people. You ever see somebody just enjoy? They be so free. I ain't worried about what y'all thinking about.
All right.
I'm out here having joy.
Okay. And that's what we are about to do. That's what we are going to do for ourselves. That is what we want to give to you all. We want to give to you the freedom that we have. We're pretty free. I think
we getting freer every day. I don't know if our mamas love it, but
can't handle it.
We're generations of women. We have daughters and we have mamas, and listen, we want to raise free women, and so hopefully our mamas will be okay with our freedoms.
And so, I think that's all.
That's all for today. Thank you so much for anybody who just tuned in to listen to this and took a moment, for your joy. If you were enlightened by this and want to hear more from us, please follow us on the socials. We are the Joy RX. We're the Joy RX on any social except
Twitter.
Except Twitter, where we're the real
Joy
RX. Please follow us. It's scant right now if you go to our site because we're building, but please keep following us, and we're going to have some
and participate,
awesome
you all. We've got a lot of things coming up that we want you all to be a part of, and even on the podcast, we would definitely like to hear your stories of joy that we can add to the Joy Journal.
Yes.
So if you could email us at info@thejoyrx website, we would love to just tell us what your joy is. No joy is too small. It is not too wild. Just tell us about it and let us know how much of your information you would like for us to include, and we will put that in the podcast also.
All joy matters.
All joy matters. All right.
All right. Thank you.
I love it.